All right, guys. So Kamala Harris, she pulled up to Guatemala today, right, to discuss how to prevent immigrants from migrating to the United States, taking that treacherous trip through Central America and Mexico to our borders. Okay, now she was not met with cheers and applause. Okay, she was not met with cheers and applause. She was actually met with some hostility, as some of the locals there aren't really feeling Kamala Harris.
Se espera la visita de la vicepresidenta de Estados Unidos.
Basically telling her to go home and to mind her own business. Okay, this is a clear message. Okay, and apparently also the Guatemalan president is not fond of Kamala either, because he feels like the Biden administration is not sending a strong enough message to prevent people from leaving the country. Okay, he doesn't feel like she's really trying to disincentivize people from coming. So apparently a lot of these people like Trump more because Trump disincentivized people from coming, right? And that's part of the reason why they don't like Kamala. And they reverse some of Trump's policies that were effective at that, whether people liked them or not. Kamala and Biden, on the other hand, they incentivize people to come. And when you incentivize people to come to the United States, it negatively affects these countries, because what happens is that coyotes come into these countries and try to round up children to take them to the United States. Like, basically Biden and Harris were incentivizing smuggling children into the United States through their rhetoric, because that's what it led to. This is what the Guatemalan president was saying. Okay, now Kamala was asked a series of questions, and the first of which is her stance on why she hasn't visited the border.
Then one more, just because we're going to Mexico tomorrow. Madam Vice President, there have been questions about why you and President Biden have yet to visit the border, the U.S. southern border. And I'm wondering if you can answer some of those. Republicans have charged that you're not taking the situation there seriously. So how do you respond to that criticism, and when will that visit come?
On the issue of Republicans' political attacks or criticism or even concerns. The reason I am here in Guatemala as my first trip as Vice President of the United States is because this is one of our highest priorities, and I came here to be here on the ground to speak with the leader of this nation around what we can do in a way that is significant, is tangible, and has real results. And I will continue to be focused on that kind of work as opposed to grand gestures.
All right, so Kamala here is essentially trying to say, listen, I'm not playing the photo op game with the Republicans. That's what she's saying. She's basically saying the Republicans are going to the border just to take pictures and to not really try to do anything about the problem, right? And here's the thing, at least on Twitter, I have been kind of critical of Republicans, you know, you taking advantage of this border crisis and blaming the Biden administration, but at the same time, they're not really putting forth any real legislation to actually fix the crisis on the inside, right? People got to understand, Trump's policies were executive orders, right? That was done through the executive branch, but those were temporary. Those were not permanent fixes. The only permanent fix you can get to immigration is through legislation. That's it. And personally, I don't think the Republicans are particularly incentivized to try to do any real legislation on the border problem, because it is advantageous for them to blame it on the Democrats, even though, I mean, it really is the Democrats' fault. Okay, but I'm just saying, it's one of those problems that, just politically speaking, that might not be necessarily a priority for them. I'm just keeping it real with you. Okay, but that being said, a bunch of Democrats, including Kamala, she ran to the border when there was a border crisis under Trump. So obviously at that time when Trump was in office, she thought that it was effective enough to go to the border. And that's what she did. She went to the border to take a photo op. The same thing that she's accusing Republicans of doing. Now that she's in office and she actually has to deal with the problem, now all of a sudden she doesn't like that. She wants to focus on real solutions. Ain't it funny how that worked? Again, this is why I tell you guys, politics is stupid. It really is. So this is Kamala basically telling the right-wing media, hey, I'm not playing your game when it comes to the border. Okay, that's what she's saying. Now, Kamala also kind of addressed the critics in regards to the accusation of the Biden-Harris administration, or the Harris-Biden administration, of being soft on the border.
And I want to emphasize that the goal of our work is to help Guatemalans find hope at home. At the same time, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back. So let's discourage our friends, our neighbors, our family members from embarking on what is otherwise an extremely dangerous journey, where in large part the only people who benefit are coyotes.
Kamala tries to act tough on this, but she didn't really say it in a way that was absolute. What she really said is that if you come to the border, I believe that you will be turned around. That's not how you discourage people from coming. What you do is you say you will be turned around. You don't say I believe, because what you believe doesn't matter. You can believe that all you want, but that doesn't mean that that's what's actually happening. When you're trying to discourage people from traveling through Mexico, through Central America, making dangerous trips to come to the United States, what you don't want to do is leave any room for optimism, okay? That's what you don't want to do. If you really don't want people to come, you'll just tell them, listen, if you come to the border, you're going to be turned around. You don't say I believe, right? You say you will, right? That's what you do. But she didn't say that.
We have always presented ourselves as being a nation of strength with strong arms, that when people are fleeing harm, we will embrace them. But look at what has happened with this administration. There are children who are fleeing murder capitals of the world. Let's be clear about this. Imagine a mother who makes a decision to pay a coyote to transport her child across the entire country of Mexico, facing unknown peril. She does that because she believes for that child to stay where they are is worse.
You got to be careful to listen to exactly what these politicians are saying, because they are masters at finessing, okay? Acting like they want something that they really don't want, right? This is classic politician 101. And this is important, guys, because there are a lot of people coming. I mean, in April, there was over 170,000 border crossings. About 111,000 of those people, they were sent back, but that means that was 60,000 that have come in, okay, that weren't sent back. And again, 170,000 people coming in a month, that is a 20-year high. We've never seen this level of illegal immigration to the United States. So it's important to disincentivize them from coming. And when speaking of incentives, the president of Costa Rica had a lot to say about that when speaking with Tucker Carlson the other night.
So, but if the richest country in the world says, if you cross over the border, we will give you free healthcare, free education, all these benefits, I mean, that's a draw, isn't it?
Of course, it's an incentive. I mean, everything in life is pros and cons, right?
Yes.
So you have, for immigration, you have a con that probably you don't know the language, or you have to, the journey is a difficult one. You may die in the journey. But if in the end you will receive a lot of things, of course, the pros go up and the cons go down. So it depends. It's an incentive game here. And
all right, so he agrees that offering free healthcare, free government services, and basically telling immigrants that, hey, if you come over here, we're going to take care of you. Yeah, that's an incentive. And that's what the Biden and the Harris administration has done. They ran their whole campaign on incentivizing illegal immigrants to come to this country, and they want to act surprised when we have a record number of them show up at the border. And a lot of people criticize Trump for the things that he said and some of his policies. They say, oh, it was cruel. But if you really don't want people to come, right? If you really don't want people to come, you don't tell them that, oh, when you get here, we're going to let you in. And also, we're going to take care of you. And we're going to make you citizens. You can possibly be citizens. At that point, everybody's going to come. What you have to tell people is, hey, if you come here, there's going to be a big, beautiful wall, right? If you're seeking asylum, you can apply, but you're probably going to have to wait. Okay, you're going to have to wait. And if you get past the wall, right, if you actually do get in the country illegally, then, hey, you're not going to have access to government services here. So you're going to have a hard time getting by. And a lot of people see that as inhumane. A lot of people see that as messed up. But at the same time, that's how you stop a record numbers of people from coming. I think if you press most conservatives on this issue, they'll tell you nobody's against immigration. What people are against is illegal immigration, because we want to know who is coming into this country, right? But most people are fine with legal immigration. If we can get the system right, and we can get people in this country that are hard workers, that are going to contribute to our society, that are going to make this country better, that's great. That's awesome. I think you'd be hard pressed to find anybody that disagrees with that on both sides of the aisle. But we have to do it legally. We have to do it legally. So moving forward here, it seems that the Biden-Harris administration is going to approach this illegal immigration problem from a standpoint of trying to prevent people from coming in the first place, right? So they're going to try to partner with some of these Central American countries and basically give them cash, right? Pay them money, get them foreign aid, and also invest in anti-corruption programs. And they hope that along with talking tough on the border will disincentivize people from traveling from Central America up through Mexico to the United States. So we will see what happens. We will see if it actually works. But the media definitely, again, have dropped the ball when they've stopped covering this, because it has not gotten better. Has not gotten better. It's only gotten worse. And this is something that definitely still needs attention. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.